This right here is a simple layout to start working on controlling the cue ball, and here is how it works. So on a one ball, for example, I want to give myself enough angle that I can just come out one rail, center ball with some left spin, and just bring the cue ball out like this. And it would be nice, you can see, to have that angle. Of course, I'm a left-handed player, it's a bit easier for me, but to have that angle, we're going towards that free ball, that would be nice. I mean, it also works with that angle. So let's say you're on that side of the two ball. The only thing is you just have to work a bit more. You sometimes don't get that close to the free ball, but you will definitely have the angle to go from the free ball to the four ball, because this is gonna be important. So let's continue from where we left. So I had this angle. This is nice because now you can see once again I'm just using right spin, pure right spin on the cue ball, and I wanna give myself an angle, and here I basically have the same angle on the free ball. I'm just a bit closer, so this is nice. Okay, important shot. I wanna come out, I don't wanna end up straight on the four ball, that's very important. I don't wanna end up with that angle where I'm coming into the ball, where I'm making contact with the five ball. So I pretty much wanna come out something like this. Better too much angle than too little angle. And for that, well, once again, right spin a bit below center on that one. And you can see now, once again, I have a nice angle on the four ball. This drill is all about angles, where I can actually come nicely out of the rail. Here, don't be worried, you're not gonna make contact with the five ball. I'm still gonna put a touch of right spin on the ball, and I have a bit too much angle. This is why I'm gonna go two rails here. See, just like that, and I'm fine. I mean, this time I don't have the angle where I'm here, but I'm a left-handed player, so I left myself that angle intentionally. So once again, I just want to come into the rail, and I don't want to end up straight on the sixth ball. This is important. This is now just a high ball. Added a trace of left spin, which was not intentional, and this is why I now ended up with a bit too little angle on the sixth ball. Because here would be nice. Just have a look what happens if I'm just rolling that ball in with high. From that angle, you can see now I'm very far away from the seven, and this is not what I want to have. Now imagine I had a bit more angle on the sixth ball, and I'm just playing that in with high and the same stroke. You can see how much easier I'm actually getting down to the seven ball. This is important. This is why I'm always telling you, you gotta think about the angles, and angles are definitely your friend. Yes, I know if you're still a beginner, shot making gets a bit more complicated with angles, and you're a bit more likely to make the shot without any angle, but eventually you're gonna really appreciate the angles. But we ended up in this position, so we have to work with that. Now, this is a bit more of an advanced shot. You have two options. You could go, because you have to hit a bit harder. You want to basically end with that angle here. Remember, we don't want to end up straight. We don't want to end up with that angle. I mean, it would work, but this angle is perfect. So I basically have two options here. I could go high right. Which looks like this. But the problem is, I'm a bit far away. Now I can't just work with spin. I probably have also to use a bit of low on the cue ball, so it would be nice to get a bit closer to the ball. So here would be ideal. How could I accomplish that? Well, by just hitting a bit lower and a bit less right spin on the cue ball. You can see now the cue ball takes a bit of a different path, but it's easily overhitten. This would still be okay. This would actually be nice, maybe a bit too much angle. So this is the first option, how you can actually recover from that bad angle we had here. And the second option, if you have too little angle, doesn't work with too much angle, is you could actually go low and left, hit the rail here, and then come into the line of the seven ball. You can see it would look like this. The good news is you can control the angle you want to have a bit better. because it just depends on where exactly you're hitting that rail. If you're hitting here, you're gonna have less angle all the time. If you're hitting a bit more here, you're gonna have more angle all the time. This was basically perfect. So here you're coming into the line of the 7 ball, whereas with the high right, you're basically crossing the line, and the exact angle you're gonna have is not very predictable. This one, the low left, is a bit more difficult to execute though. Very often you're gonna miss or you're gonna lose the cue ball. But let's keep going from here. Now with that angle, I can't just use left spin. This would be the angle where I can just use left spin, because now the cue ball wants to go a bit more forwards because I'm shooting into that direction. This means the cue ball wants to travel a bit more forwards compared to here. So this is why I also have to use a bit of low on the cue ball. So it's a bit more difficult to judge and to predict the exact cue ball path. Execution is a bit more difficult, and just because of that, you can see I ended up a bit too straight on the 8 ball, but I can't just stun it over. I also want to draw it a bit back, just like that. You can see that was nice. Now it's the perfect angle where I once again want to go. Remember, same as here. I want to go out with just right spin in that case. Cue ball needs to stop. This was bad. Now you can see once again I can't just roll it in. I have too little angle. Now I have to force the cue ball again. This is why I'm always telling you that angles are your friends. Just let's show you here. Here just right spin. Works perfectly. Comes just naturally out because the cue ball doesn't want to go forward. And now leave the cue ball where it is. Now if I'm just using right spin here, look what happens. I'm gonna bump into the 11 because the cue ball wants to go more into that direction. This is why the cue ball pushes the after the rail more into that direction compared where the cue ball is coming from here. Comes out, it doesn't want to go as strongly into that direction. I hope that makes sense to you. So this is why we have to work with low, with stun, and I just want to stun the cue ball out. Just a bit below center, just like that, and I underhit the shot. Now I have to work. You can see this is why it's so much more difficult to judge. So now we actually have to play a recovery shot, but this is a perfect example. I can't hold the cue ball here, it's just too much of a cut. So this is why I'm trying to extend the line. I think if the cue ball is gonna hit that rail here, we have a good chance to come down table. So no spin on the cue ball here. I just focus on making the shot, which is really difficult in that case. And I don't want to scratch. I was lucky. Could have used a bit of left spin to avoid the scratch because we hit here. I tried to hit here. The left spin would have helped me to hit here. This would have taken the scratch completely out of the equation. All right, nice little drill. Helps you working on your angle management, on your speed control of your just spin shots, managing angles. So a great drill. Give it a try. Let me know how you like it in the comments.